You've probably heard the name Lords Mobile in your life, at least once. There has to be once. Well, they released a new event which is called Guild Expedition, and apparently I liked it, and I want to make an honest review on how the event is, how good it is, and how solid it is in many aspects. Like, we're gonna be going over the topics and see for ourselves. We'll be going over of all the 5 phases and what each one unlocks and what each one does. And they can do pretty many things. I'm gonna make a review, and of course I'm gonna leave suggestions later down at the end of the video. Subscribe. After phase 4 of the event though, I decided to quit on it because I was actually getting a little bit tired and I had finished all my solos and guild ones. If you're an LM player, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm also free to play, so I have to hoard as many things as I can, especially gems. They're pretty tough to get. Let's get to it. First of all, we gotta check out the rules in Phase 1. Phase 1 doesn't have anything special apart from letting you start on your starting region, and you just basically expand until you reach the basic thresholds, which are basically the borders, and you're gonna be staying on your original ground for at least, let's say, a phase. And after Phase 1, the action happens. So let's get to it. Let's explore the topics on how to make easy piney rocks, which you can trade off later for other items. First of all, you can do a lot of DNs, gather resources, and pretty much that's the only thing you can do on Phase 1. Gather resources and do some level 4 DNs, because you got nothing else better to do, unless you like hunting level 3 monsters, so that's a thing for another day. Also, that's how the Phase 1 map looks like. No one has expanded really into other locations, but the crucial location you're gonna go is into the Pioneer Monument, which there will be chaos and destruction. Trust me, that event is not easy. And the map doesn't look too great. In Phase 1, Towers of Swiftness unlock, which gives you a speed bonus. You can go faster, probably because the developers know that it would be way too boring if you just sat in one place. And the basic thresholds will unlock on Phase 2, and later on you can expand on other regions. In Phase 1, there is literally no contact with other players. You won't fight anyone, you won't get destroyed, you're safe on Phase 1 because it's the starting phase and it's basically preparing you physically and mentally for what's about to come. And of course, if you're a punctuative player like me when the event started, you'll see that it's very easy to make points. Let's get into the rules. I don't like this one. I hate this one. Would you have infinite capacity for infirmary, but we have a copy of Hot Springs of DA into a new event? Well, whatever, we don't care about that. I do care about the infirmary rule. We're gonna criticize on that at the almost end of the video, or close to it, don't worry. The rules are pretty simple. Yeah, you can heal all your troops if you want, you can go after other players. In Phase 1, you have at least, if you're a punctuated player, I think if you get a couple of good DNs, you get at least 1 or 2 medals, Flower Maiden ones. We'll get to know what a Flower Maiden is. We'll get to that soon enough. This is a store with Pioneer Rocks. Every more you score, Pioneer Rocks will be added, and you can spend them for stuff like this. Flower Maiden is a hero that is identical to this guy's stats. However, Bullmeister is way cooler, trust me, he's an OG one. But the Flower Maiden, it's a cool hero. And oh boy, it's time for Phase 2. Phase 2, an interesting one. Phase 2 brings more contact. Well, not too much contact, it's just a little bit of contact with other guilds, at least with the ones next to you, because I don't know about the other ones. Intermediate thresholds will unlock at Phase 3, so you still have a little bit of time left before you absolutely get obliterated. If you're very punctuative, you should at least reach checkpoint 14 on Phase 2 in both solo and guild journey. It's easy to gather points if you are active a lot. Oh boy, Phase 3 will be way too good, trust me. You'll see with your own eyes. As you can see, the guild journey and solo journey rewards are nice. Lunite if you're a T5 player, but for now, I just hoard things that I can find. I'm cool with everything, honestly. Even a shoe, I'm cool with it as a free-to-play player on this game. Like, trust me. These are the structures that Phase 2 brings. The basic threshold, which is the initial border of Phase 1, Fountain of Blessings, and Runes of Valor. Runes of Valor giving something and Fountain of Blessings giving HP. Basic threshold allows you to expand to the other region, and And of course, this is how the map looks, and this is how it looked again after a long while. And this is a picture of me sending more rallies to relay towers, and now that's a video. This is a Fountain of Blessings. As you can see, it gives you an HP bonus, which you can use to your advantage, and it gives you some pioneering points, so you can get more in the standings. So, why not try it out for yourself? Next time Guild Expedition comes out, don't be lazy, get it to the event, and play it for yourself. I like to say that it's a good point to put good wonders that actually give good stats to the entire guild. You're not the only one who's getting the effect. The entire guild of yours is taking the effect with you. That was enough blubbering. It's time to go to phase 3. Phase 3, it's gonna be peak. First of all, contact will be intensified to a level you cannot expect. It's very awesome, and it's very hard at the same time. So basically, the intermediate thresholds unlock, and the heroic citadels also unlock. The heroic citadels give an army attack boost, and the intermediate thresholds allow you to pass further. However, we lost them overnight. We lost the thresholds, but what I didn't lose is finishing solo journey and guild journey. This is a picture of me destroying a T4 unorganized player. And there's a picture of the map. Picture it for yourself. Picture my feelings. Doesn't it look too cool on the outside? Yeah, it does. And this is what I did literally overnight. In many days. This is not just overnight. This is every single day I played this event. Some of them might have been deleted because there were too many. However, we don't care. Okay. So phase 1 unlocked the Tower of Swiftness. Phase 2 unlocked these 3 gems right there. And of course, the phase 3, which you know what unlocked, these 3, 2. Well, now it's time to say our last goodbyes to phase 3, because it was an interesting one. But now, I think we are doomed. Welcome to phase 4. Phase 4 brings new things, such as the Arcane Towers, the Pioneer Monument, the Important Area, and the Advanced Threshold, which allows you to expand further and reach the Monument. This is how our map looks like. Exactly. This was in phase 4. We did some progress, and we managed to get to the Pioneer Monument ever since it started. We managed to get it and capture it for ourselves. However, when we captured it, I had to go somewhere, and I didn't really get to see the whole feeling. We also got an Arcane Tower, but I was never able to see what it did. And I still don't know to this day. And however, these look very nice. The Arcane Tower, which has an interesting mechanic to launch an attack every 5 minutes. I don't know about you, I do find the Arcane Towers very interesting. There's not been a single structure that does this, as far as I know. And having this at a new event is really creative, to have a tower that suits things every 5 minutes constantly. That's interesting and balances things. However, phase 4, good one too. But now it's time to go to phase 5, the final phase of the event. If you didn't believe me who got the Pioneer Monument, here's a picture. Do you remember the basic threshold when it couldn't get attacked in the other 4 phases? Well, now it can be attacked by their guilds, which means they have the ability to lock down you in one region, and the only safe spot that they cannot capture is the guild headquarters. So eventually, if they keep taking all of your land, the only safe spot you have is the guild headquarters, which is very vulnerable. I mean, there's only 12 hours onto the event, so let IGG do something and make it even more pressuring to keep taking even more land and keeping the Pioneer Monument. Unluckily, not many of my guildmates stayed and continued participating. I stayed here because I just wanted to stay on the event because it was fun. However, at this point in the game, you can't really do many things. You gather resources, kill some monsters, and do the ends. But you can also go after relays. I wouldn't recommend it because the event's about to end and you're going to waste even more supplies trying to do that. Although most of them are going to be empty completely. So if you want to gather some resources, the level 4, level 5 tiles, go for it. Why not? Free resources. There's a lot of them. Do what I do next time. If you're on phase 5, just gather some resources and you should be feeling good. If there's a lucky card event which can give you the amount of gems based on the number cards you found, yeah, you can go in other people's territory and draw cards, which... Is this considered a bug? Now, don't get me wrong, this video isn't supposed to be negative, but there are some things that actually make the event a little expensive, a little too harsh. I'm not gonna say the copy models, they're fine, they're just models, that we don't really care about those. However, the infirmary rule is kinda out of place in here. If it was the same like Dragon Arena, it would probably, people would call it out as a copy, so instead maybe IGG do this so it stands out on itself. But I'm gonna be honest, this actually worsened the rules than improved them. The same rule can be found on event info and event rules, which is probably on when you exit the arena, because it will not take any wounded troops when you're outside and your infirmary is full, so basically the infinite capacity is over. But it's also found on event process for the third time. Now, let's go over to the second and final negative of today's review. These relocators are expensive as F. Bro, every single one of the gems I won into the solo journey and guild journey were all spent on relocators. I didn't want a single gem. All of them were spent on relocators. This event is a lot of expensive than you think it is. Actually, it is so expensive that you might have spent your entire retirement onto this event. Speaking of this, there's also this funny bug with below top 3. This guild squeal R probably says retain their rankings, but it's not something bad, it's actually kind of funny. I mean, this is not negative, this bug is just a harmless one, don't worry. And now, it's time for the opinion, which is, well, first of all, the event is solid. It's very good, and I love the event, and its originality. I'm gonna have to hats off to IGG because they've actually made something cooler. And to be fair, I always liked Kingdom class, but now I think we got another contender for that place because Guild Expedition has an original idea. You have to manually expand and eventually reach the monument. Interesting. Despite the event being very costly to especially new players, which it's a big negative, being extremely expensive for those that don't have like 100,000 gems that won through grinding a lot, and this might be a little problem into getting more players to play the event. And I think IGG should work on other things that might, you know, inspire new players, and especially those that don't have a lot of gems in their pockets to play the event. And of course, going through economy of the event, let's also see what the sub offers. The sub is actually legit. It has very good prices and you know, costs. They are very legit and they're very normal, considering that many other things on GemShop and Guild Ball are extremely expensive. The points on the keeps are also justifiable and pretty legit. Let's also not forget about the Pioneer Rock Sub, which you get through completing the journeys. To be fair, these are pretty normal prices. You have to grind though to get them. Which, to be fair, if you're a punctuated player, you shouldn't have an issue because I have 2,000 right now. So if I have 2,000, which I'm completely not to experience the game, then you should too. Overall, the event is an 8 out of 10 for sure. But now, it's time to do a little suggestion on about those two negatives and what can we do to improve them. Now, I don't know if IGG would actually try to improve them, but if they do, that's a plus for them, because then it will be more players playing the event, and eventually the game count will expand. Let's begin with the first rule, about the healing rule of the infirmaries in the battleground of Guild Expedition. For this issue, I'm gonna offer two alternatives. Either not have an infinite infirmary capacity, but automatically heal the troops once you leave, and when you heal them inside the battleground to spend some time with it. Or have an increased infirmary capacity by 200%, but also the troops will not be automatically healed when you leave. This rule is a little weird. No infirmary capacity, but they will not automatically heal when you leave. Now, let's be careful. What if one person had only one infirmary and the sanctuary was full and the infirmary was full? They would burst out more trips? What if one person had no infirmaries, if that's even possible? That's how we solve one of the negatives, and it's basically that, just one of those two alternatives I offered before. For the second and final negative, I found, well, about the relocator problem. 1.5 thousand gems is not pretty easy and doesn't come by easily. What if Guild Expedition gave you custom Guild Expedition relocators that when you leave, they get taken away, and when you rejoin, they stay the same. So, for example, let's say rank 1 gives you about 50 Guild Expedition relocators, so you don't have to buy for now. And you say about 50, you use about 20 and you leave. And after 10 minutes, you will stay with the same amount of Guild Expedition relocators. So, in that way, the players won't exploit and have infinite Guild Expedition relocators. Now, that's a feature that I suggest, and so you don't have to buy relocators right at the point and spend even more gems on the event, but I think IGG probably won't listen to that because they want some players to spend. Honestly, every company does that. They want people to spend. However, if you want to expand and have more people play the event, why not just, add about 20 or 30 rank 1 and constantly add up, or the exact opposite, be about 100 in rank 1 and suddenly they get decreased over time. I really hope IGG consider this. I hope you enjoyed this video, which is also gonna be posted in Creator Turf so I can make some gems. Please like it, please subscribe. I will also post this in 2 of my socials. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you enjoy. Bye.